The Shetland Isles, the final resting place of Britain's biggest shipwreck, Oceanic. Over the centuries, these islands have experienced thousands of shipwrecks. During April 1924, the German training bark Boas was dashed against these rocks in a gale. The figurehead was washed up several months later and now looks over the wreck site. Not all of Shetland's wrecks are below the waterline. And not all the wrecks are of ships. This is the tragic sight of a Catalina flying boat that hit a fog-covered hill during the Second World War. Most of Shetland's east coast wrecks are within a few minutes of Lerwick Harbour. The Lerwick Lighthouse was the scene of the biggest helicopter rescue in Britain when the Russian Klondiker Lunohods was driven ashore in a force 10 gale. A bollard drying at low tide is the only evidence of this calamitous event. The collier Gwladmena was rammed and sunk while blacked out at anchor during the First World War. Inside the bow locker, I was amazed to find a coil of rope which had survived for 90 years. A fire hose lays coiled against the side. This strange looking object is the remains of a wooden mast. The engine is lying on its side in front of the boilers. I can only imagine it was ripped out of its foundations by a Klondiker's anchor. It's the end of the dive and the pubs are opening, so a quick fin back to the shot is called for. A couple of miles from the lighthouse lies the Anglo Dame. This First World War wreck is in 68 metres and was at first thought to be the Park Mill. A squeeze into the engine room reveals a telegraph and gauges. Paint pots and oil cans still hang from hooks on the wall. On a shelf, oil cans and an oil lamp, and a bottle of beer. On the port side of the wreck has to be the poshest head I have ever seen. During May 1922, Egypt was carrying £36 million of gold and silver when she was rammed by a French steamer. Salvage started in 1932. 5 years later, 95% of the precious metal had been recovered. Teresa and I dived the wreck during August 2006. We spent 17 minutes in wide-eyed amazement before enduring 4 hours of decompression. One of our tasks on Britannic was to bring back footage of the forward hold and spiral staircase. I also wanted footage of Teresa entering and exiting the hold. This wasn't as simple as it seems. We had 2 attempts to get the entry right. The exit we managed in 1 take. All this at 115 metres.